Scene opens on a quiet, moonlit cityscape. All is still. It was midnight. A deep, silent hush had fallen over the entire city. The streetlights cast long, lonely shadows on the empty sidewalks. In every house, on every street, people were tucked into their beds, lost in dreams. Well, almost everyone. In the heart of this sleeping metropolis, three tiny figures, legends in their own right, were about to shatter the silence. Cut to a rooftop. Theodore is nervously wringing his paws, looking over the edge. Simon is polishing his glasses with intense focus. Alvin has a mischievous, confident grin plastered on his face. The air on the rooftop was thick with a mixture of nervous energy and pure, unadulterated excitement. A soft, rhythmic thrumming like a distant heartbeat began to pulse through the floor. It was the low hum of speakers, waiting to be unleashed. Theodore, the youngest and most cautious of the trio, glanced around nervously, his whiskers twitching. "Guys," he whispered, his voice barely audible above the hum. Are you absolutely sure this is a good idea?" Simon, ever the pragmatist, pushed his glasses firmly back onto his nose. He took a deep breath, looking at his spreadsheets of potential outcomes on a tiny tablet. "Statistically speaking, Theodore," he began, his tone serious, "the probability of a negative outcome involving noise complaints, potential property damage, and severe grounding is approximately 97.8%. So, logically—" "No, this is a terrible idea." He paused, a small smile tugging at his lips. "But emotionally? The potential for legendary status is off the charts. So yes, absolutely yes." Alvin, who had been vibrating with energy this whole time, struck a dramatic pose, one paw on his hip. He let out a low chuckle, his eyes gleaming in the moonlight. "Forget statistics, Simon. Forget fear, Theo. Boys. Tonight, we're not just making music." He spread his arms wide as if to embrace the entire city. "Tonight, we go viral." And with that single declaration, everything changed. Boom! In a blinding flash, a dazzling array of stage lights ignited, bathing the rooftop in a kaleidoscope of color. Massive speakers, previously hidden in the shadows, roared to life. And from the streets below, a sound began to build, a gasp, then a murmur, then an outright scream of shock and delight. The greatest, most unexpected, and most unsanctioned Chipmunk concert in history had just begun. The opening chords of a high-energy pop anthem ripped through the night air. The three brothers grabbed their miniature microphones, their energy infectious. They launched into the chorus, their voices, pitched up and perfectly harmonized, echoing between the skyscrapers. "We don't sleep, we don't stop, Chipmunk crew going straight to the top. City's quiet, make some noise, 'cause you're rockin' with the baddest boys." One by one, lights started flickering on in the apartment buildings across the street. Windows slid open. People, rubbing sleep from their eyes, peered out into the night, their confusion quickly turning to disbelief and then sheer amazement. The initial quiet was replaced by a growing roar from the impromptu audience below. Phones were whipped out, their screens creating a sea of tiny lights. The internet absolutely exploded. Live streams went up instantly with titles like "You Won't Believe This" and "Secret Midnight Concert." Down on the street, a fan, phone held high, was screaming into her live feed. "Oh my gosh, nitrogen monoxide way! Is that Alvin on the roof?" On the rooftop, Alvin heard the screams. He paused mid-verse, struck a heroic pose against the glittering skyline, and winked at a nearby drone camera that had materialized out of nowhere. "You're welcome, world," he said coolly into his mic, the crowd below erupting in cheers. He was in his element, a rock star under the moonlight. The performance was flawless, the energy was electric, the views were climbing into the millions. They were on top of the world. They hit the final epic power chord of their song, striking a triumphant pose as the last note faded into the night, replaced by the deafening applause from the entire neighborhood. It was a perfect moment, a legendary moment. A moment that would be talked about for years to come. And then, another sound cut through the cheers. A sound far more terrifying than any music critic. A sound that struck fear into the hearts of our three heroes. "Alvin!" The voice, filled with a unique blend of fury and disbelief, boomed from a nearby window. It was Dave. His silhouette was unmistakable. The party was officially over. Alvin's confident grin instantly vanished, replaced by a wide-eyed panic. He dropped his microphone and made a mad dash for the fire escape. Gotta go, he squeaked, his brothers right behind him. Viral later, grounded forever now. They scrambled into the darkness, leaving behind a bewildered city, a million new fans, and one very, very angry father figure. So what's the takeaway from this chaotic tale of midnight stardom? It's a reminder to dream big. Don't be afraid to chase those crazy, ambitious goals that keep you up at night. You have to shine bright and let the world see what you're made of. Just maybe try not to wake up your entire neighborhood and your dad at 2 in the morning to do it. Timing, as they say, is everything. Thanks so much for hanging out and reliving this legendary night with us. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more adventures, and let us know in the comments what your wildest dream is. We'll see you in the next one.